Happy Saturday. Welcome to Danu's Celtic World. I'm Kate. Good to see all of you today. It's beautiful outside. I have the window open a little bit behind me um, to let some light, natural light in. I thought that would be more pleasant to be able to see everything instead of, having to have it so dark in here in the office space here. Um, so, what a day! What a day. Today is the new moon. Well, it actually started yesterday, but the new moon in Taurus, earth sign, fixed sign, ruler of the second house. This is a great beginning, a great transformation. Wonderful for everyone to take literally the bull by the horns and say, I'm going to use all of the strengths and descriptors that represent Taurus, and I'm going forward. I'm going to do what I do every day, but I'm going to make it stronger. I'm going to make it more powerful. I'm going to have those daily routines more powerful to make my abundance bigger, better, higher, more powerful. And that is what this new moon is all about. It is about work ethics and staying in our power and using the things that we use every day to make us stronger, to make us feel stronger for our daily routines, for our family, for our jobs, for all the things that we do in life, to have stability, to keep grounding ourselves, to keep moving forward, to put our long term goals in place, but make them stronger, make them more foreseeable, make them more available, easier to grasp, easier to go out there and grasp them. Building the solid foundation, how we work every day, how we do our daily routines, how we work with our families, our friends. This is such a powerful, great time. And it's a great time to also follow your traditions. Maybe some of you forgot about those things, hey, we used to do this and we used to do that. And I'm a big proponent of that because I've lost a lot of my relatives being, um, having my own children and seeing everybody grow older and keeping those traditions alive and keeping those things alive for your family, for your children, for your mate, for your spouse. Um, Keeping that strong earthiness, and keeping boundaries. I'm going to discuss that a little bit down the road because a bull, a Taurus, does not like to share their pasture. That's their grazing environment. Set boundaries. Okay. Set boundaries. Make sure you put up your boundaries. And I mean harsh. You know, um, don't cross your heart, but at the same time, don't cross your heart. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you are setting those boundaries and making sure that people realize that you too have a home, you too have a family, you too have friends and responsibilities and things to take care of in your daily life. Your priorities, you have habits, you have hobbies, and those are the things that Taurus, with this Taurus new moon, wants you to all focus on. You know, um, Keeping those into play, but building a stronger foundation with those things so they go with you on and on and on from the time that you're doing it daily now, like I had mentioned in my posting. If you go to my Danu's Celtic World YouTube page, not only will you see the live videos that I've recorded, if you go to posts, I post regularly, several times a week. And I posted this morning, not just relaxing music to get ready while you're or cleaning while you're taking care of the house and things of that sort. I put some jazz music up there, but I also put down very early this morning what Taurus is looking for going forward. Keeping those dated, yes, we do these things daily, and it seems like, oh, you're telling me the same thing over and over again. But the new moon in Taurus is saying, now I want to see you do it with some cojones, with some balls, with some strength to make it more powerful for all of you so that you get that abundance, you get that raise, you get that bonus, you get that overtime, you have more to save, you have more money to purchase the things, to get more material possessions, which is also part of Taurus's ethos. Okay, how we live, good food, good life, good environment, good home, getting that abundance to have those things, getting, like I said, getting it together, getting them, having some nerve, some cojones, and going out there and put your anchor down and in the foundation of the earth and go out there and go make that money. Go do your routines. Go get your family. Go find the love of your life. Go get married. Go have kids. Get that beautiful home, the home you dreamed about, the job you dreamed about, the love of your life, take care of your health, your wealth, your body. All these things, Taurus comes in there and they say, whether it's masculine or feminine, because I have plenty of friends that are female Taurus, but I also have my son who is a Taurus, and he is to the bone 175% a Taurian. And then the funny part is that his moon sign is Leo. He's got the biggest heart. If he is good with you and he's sweet, and you ask him to do you a favor, it's if you're good with him and he knows you're a good person, he will go to the end of the earth to help you. Taurus is like that. They're good like that. They believe in having a good job, going to work on time, doing what the right thing by their family, doing all the right things in life to build that anchor in the ground, grounding, foundation to move forward and be successful in life. My son also is very particular about his food. Like I said, the finer things in life, the finer things in beauty, the finer things um, with home, house, all these things. And that's just not me talking, that's the astrology. And, if I could put my son's face next to Taurus on the astrology board, I would say, yeah, you could do that. Spitting image, spitting image, um, as far as the ethos is concerned, meaning your, mode of operation, your personality traits, the way you feel, the way you do things, what you like, what you don't like, um, hobbies, personal traits, personal things that they like. You know, um, we also want to take care of our health. I want to talk about that. Um, you know, you're not going to go out and see a bull necessarily go eat a bunch of steak, right? Because they're not going to want to have Angus steak. Ironically, if you think about what a bull is made of, um, they eat more healthier. They eat greens and they eat vegetables and they like to graze and they like their boundaries. And um, but they're very observant. They do take care of their own, but they do, even as animals. And we're animals too, just a different type of classification, just to clarify that as a teacher. But, you know, also with interests and your worth ethics and material possessions. That is something I cannot even begin to tell you with material possessions. Um, they they're very picky about that. They're not going to just go to, I don't know what they call that. Uh, uh, Cindy Crawford's on that commercial. Rooms for rent, rooms buy a room and you get two free or whatever. It's a furniture place, but he's not. They're not going to go to any pop dime a dozen place to get furniture or to get things or to buy their clothes. You know, last year I took. I'll give you an example. Last year I took my son out, and I was like, "Oh, I know you like these, and I wear New Balance, okay? Just to give you." We went to the store, and I had no idea a pair of Jordans were like over 200, 250, $300. Calvin Klein belts, sportswear, Astros, basketball, football tees. I have no idea that all these things were like 100, 300, $500 a shirt. That's the taste. Rooms to go. That's what it was. I was thinking that Cindy Crawford commercial. Yeah, my son's never going to go to Rooms to go to buy his furniture. He's going to think that that's crap. It's just letting you know. Um, he's more of just to give you the leather furniture, sit back, U-shaped leather furniture where you can sit 15 people and sit back and watch a football game with 30 people in the room and everything's masculine leather, oak wood, fine, you know, essentials and anything pertinent to the property with gold and gold fixtures and shiny. That's Torian. Those are the things that they like. With health again, eating greens, staying in health, getting exercise, um, having good rest time. We never see it because some people don't even realize it. Cows, cow, cows, bulls, they are, you know, they sleep standing up. They sleep a lot. They like to sleep a lot to get extra energy to keep their health in check. They get their rest. I promise you. They get their rest. I did some research this morning and I was like, how is it that they want rest and beauty and all this stuff? I never even realized. I knew the cows and bulls slept standing up. For all of you that don't know that, one is a male, one's a female. I'm referencing the two. But I had no idea that they stood up sleeping for that long. Some of them stand up sleeping all day when they're not eating. I wish I could stand up and sleep. I don't think my pre-K kids would give me a break for that. But with that said, and they love family. So if you have a Taurian that's, you know, going to family dinners, good food, the comforts of home, the comforts of having good friends, they like to see that. If you're dating a Taurus, they like to see all those good that you take care of yourself, that you dress nice, that you're meticulous, like grooming, meticulous home. They also like a good job, good work ethics, good morals. I have some, not just in astrology, they like tradition, they like religion, not all the same, but they do like to conform and see the following of the routine of per se, you know, doing the ritualistic things that each religion does, whatever they like that they're attached to, or whatever person they're attached to that's pertaining to the religion that they both would practice. So if you go to Sabbath on Saturday, and that's their religion as well. They want to see that consistency that you're following them. If you're a Roman Catholic and you go to church on Wednesday nights for, Bible studies with your children, or Sunday church on Sunday morning, and then afterwards you go out to eat lunch, and that's something that they do. They want to continue to do that. They like the comforts of home. They like consistency, and they don't really do well. I'm going to say this. I tried not to say this, but they Taurus, my little bulls. Some of you do not like change that much. You like the consistency so much that change could be kind of hard for you. And with this new moon in Taurus, the moon and the other planets involved, we're going to have Venus coming in. Okay, we're going to have Venus in Gemini coming up. We're going to have Venus in Cancer this Tuesday. We're going to have this Venus in Gemini, the Sun in Gemini at the end of the week. So let's be also cautious with our communications, how we speak, engage mind before opening your mouth, engage brain before making decisions. Make sure if you feel uncomfortable with something, talk to a family member, talk to a friend. Does this feel right to you? What do you think about this? And it doesn't have to be where you're telling them, this is what I'm going to do. You can basically say, I would say, I was thinking about this, and what do you think about that? My hair is wet. Sorry, I just hit my bag. And you could talk to them about that and just get a for instance, get an opinion before you make a solid decision. Make sure you are checking and double checking and triple checking yourself when it comes to finances. Taurus rules the second house of money and finance, how we use our finances, how we spend our finances. And Taurus, I'm going to say it like 3 times, Taurus likes to save money. Taurus likes to put their money in savings. Taurus does not like people who overspend all that much. They like the idea of individuals, and especially themselves. You've probably, if you're regulars, you've seen him come home from work behind me. He does not like when people go out and just spend their money on nonsensical crap. He's more of like, all right, I'm going to save $30,000, and I'm going to buy, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to save, I'm going to try to save for as long as I can for years and years and years so I could put $50,000 down on a house. That's the energy. And speaking of the energy, I mean, Taurus has a lot of energy when they're in the go, 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 especially at work, when they're doing their job, when they're really compelled and passionate. Tauruses are passionate. It's more like it's under the skin, but they're really sensitive. And it also depends on their moon sign and their rising sign. So I'll give you, for instance, um, maybe someone has a rising sign that's a fire sign, and then someone has a moon sign that's a fire sign. My kid included, he's got a Sagittarius and a Leo. So when it comes to rising sign, when he comes to his mouth, he's blunt. There's no, oh, how do you think I look today? He's not gonna baby you and say, oh, you look good. Nice dress. Good try. No, no, no. Taurus is usually like, and you can usually tell by the look on their face when they go, you know, oh boy, I can't even begin to tell you. And but also when you look incredibly handsome, when you look incredibly beautiful, you'll see it on their face as well, and they will normally tell you, maybe not they're not going to tell you in the open, but they will come over and say you might come up next to you and come to the side and say, you look incredibly beautiful today, or you look really handsome today. Those are the Taurian traits. And also, I want to say for many of you, we have to think about, you know, what spiritual discipline is with this new moon in Taurus are we looking at? Okay. This fixed earth sign doesn't care about, you know, what you want to do to get a quick fix. They want you to take a moment to have clarity because the full moon's going to come up soon on the 31st with two because we have two full moons this month. And of course, we have today's new moon. What are you going to be doing tomorrow morning? Are you going to be doing and be ritualistic and be consistent and grounding and doing that the next morning and the day after that and the morning after that? Has the initial spark faded or are you consistent? And Taurus likes consistency. Taurus also likes that people and for themselves, they actually do the work that they need to do to build something for it to meant to last for the long haul, for their long-term goals. If you marry a Taurus and the both of you agree that we're going to save $50,000, $60,000 for a house, I guarantee you, if they are dedicated, if they, don't have any, you know, issues with their finances and they're a hard worker and that's what they really want, this fixed earth sign is going to say, bet, bet. And he or she will save and work really hard to save every penny, even if they have to eat a hot dog for lunch every day. They will save to get that house, to get, you know, the things, the beautiful things, the finer things in life that they like to have. They have that spiritual discipline, that daily ritual practice that they always have that. Once they have that inspiration, they're going to work towards it and they want to make it transpire. They want it to last forever. They want it something that is meant to last. Okay. Taurus also likes beauty, the value, you know, they like a little bit of attention. I haven't met a Taurus yet that's not attractive. They like to take care of themselves again. They like to express themselves differently. Um, Taurus might be more of a, hey, I know you like this. I'll give you an example. And I know this is something that most women might not get. And they might be like, oh, he never shows me affection or he never does this for me. But that's not so. That's not so, sweetie. Or I'm talking masculine. That's not so, honey. I have a way of doing things. Geez, again, um, they know you. They know that you like Subway sandwiches, and they'll go out. And if they're out and they're about, and they see something that you like, it may not be here's $100, go shopping, which is really materialistic. That's not really love. But if they're thinking about you and they love you or they care for you or they care deeply for you or they're interested in you and they want to be a part of your life, they're going to remember that you like that meatball hero with cheese with the extra pepperoni in it or whatever. And if they're passing by on the way home from work and they have to stop in that area, they might pick you up a foot-long hero. And although you're like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. Not really great for my waistline, but thank you for thinking of me. But they are thinking of you because they know that every time you're together, that's what you order and that's what you like. And so they're thinking of you and they're picking that up for you because they care for you and they know that that's what you like to eat. You see that connection? They might not come out every day and say, "Oh, I love you to death." That's not Taurus. They're more of a, hey, I went shopping for blah 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 for Christmas, and I saw this for my father. And while I was shopping for my father, I saw the tie that you liked. And even though you're not there, I'm talking like they're thinking this in their head. I'm talking for the girls now. They're thinking this in their head. And they might be, at Dillard's or Macy's or Saks or Nordstrom's, and they'll see that tie that you like, but they were Christmas shopping for their dad, but they know you like that tie and you're not expecting it. But because the Taurus, although they're not going to be handing you monetary things, the way they show their love is because they're thinking of you. They know in their heart what they think about, what you like, what you care about, what is important to you. Anything that's earthy, that's grounded with you. They see that tie, they might go and spend $200 on a tie, even if you weren't expecting it. Some guys might be like, "Oh, I would have rather had the $200 in my pocket." Really? Would you really want that? Or would you rather have a girlfriend or a wife that remembers that 6 months ago you said you love this tie, and while she was shopping for your father, she remembered that you love this tie, and so she picked that tie up for you, even though she's in college and $200 is a lot of money, but she got it for you anyway because she was thinking about you, because she cares about you. So those are the Taurusy things that they do. And going forward, again, Taurus is wanting everybody to go for the long haul. Don't take shortcuts. Work hard. Work hard on your craft, whether you're a welder, you're an auto mechanic, you're a cook, you're a construction worker, you're a police officer, a firefighter, whether you work in an office and you work in sales, or you work for Chase investment banking, or you work at for Goldman Sachs, whatever the case may be. They want you to take those foundations and buckle it down. Buckle up, Buttercup. Taurus is saying, we need you to work harder. We want you to do it. You're going to be successful. You are going to be successful. And that will get you through that transition. Because once you start working a little harder and you start seeing the things that I mentioned, whether it's for a girlfriend, a friend, a relative, a mom, a dad, a grandparent, and you see the connections that I just made, you're not realizing it, you're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. You realize, and for other people that are with Taurians, you'll realize that those are the ways that Taurians work. And they work hard, and they like their boundaries. They like to eat well, they like the finer things in life. Good food, good life, good home, good family, foundation, grounding, steadfast, daily routines. And I haven't met a Taurus that doesn't break their routines. They might be like, "Oh, I'm running late," blah, 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 but they particularly like daily routines. So if you have good work ethic and you're good with foundation and you want security and you are good with keeping grounded, keeping that foundation, keeping those daily routines, good job, good work ethic. You know how to keep things into perspective and keep it on a schedule. Your boss is a Taurus. He's gonna love you. I'm sure of it. With a smile on your face and a very positive attitude. They don't want to hear negative, negative, negative. Tauruses don't like bitching and complaining. Sorry, I have to say it. I'm They don't like to hear that. That's when they run out of the pasture and go find somewhere else to graze. Just saying, not many women and men do eat anyway, right? Nobody likes to hear that all day long. But, loyalty is another thing. And I wanted to especially talk about this because loyalty is something that once that loyalty is broken with someone that's a Taurus, it's hard to gain their trust back, and then for them to believe that you're honest and you have their best heart in mind. You have their best, perspective in mind. You have the best. You want nothing for the best for them. Once that's broken, that's a hard thing to get back. So if they find out that you lie, you're doing them dirty. No. Once they find that out, it's a no. If you find somebody that does, I want to meet them because I it's just not in the cards for them. They like loyalty. They like uh, definitely like things with a foundation that are 110% done the right way, done the responsible way. They are responsible, goal oriented, hardworking, work ethic, family oriented um, people. And that's a great thing. And it would be really hard once a tourist is married for a really long time. I can honestly say, unless you're absolutely a blank 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 bitch or a real terrible for a guy, they'll never divorce you if the things could always get worked out. If things are really bad, of course, no one stays in a bad, abusive relationship. But if things are going good and things can be worked out and communicated, again, I'm going to dive into the rest of the week. Things can be communicated. Sit down at the table, foundation again, sit down and communicate, especially with when it comes to future goals, what you want, what you don't want, and where you want to see your life going. By the way, if things are not with equity, it'll be okay as long as it's not absolutely everything. If absolutely everything you're with someone that is expecting the both of you to spend their whole life together, or they're talking about getting engaged, or talking about getting married, and things are like not really good, it's going to make a lot of sun sign, rising sign Taurians feel out of place and uncomfortable with having a lifetime commitment with you. Make sure that you have mutual assent, a meeting of the minds. You want the same things, you have the same kind of heart, you have the same respectful, reciprocal foundations for each other. You know what your boundaries are. He or she knows what their boundaries are. If you cross them, bye. If you do good by them, great. So yeah, that is going to be the biggest topic along with communication. Communication is a very big thing because you can't go into any relationship regardless of who you are if you don't have good communication. And you know what I want to say too, devotion and repetition and having inspiration really works with Taurus and communication. Now, I know a lot of Tauruses that are kind of quiet until they get to know you really well. Once they're comfortable with you, in the beginning they're kind of quiet. They're very quiet. And with that said, I want to get into the communication because right now what we have, okay, going forward, we have a lot going on with Gemini this week. And Gemini is, going to be coming into play with Venus. Gemini is going to be coming into play with the Sun. And Gemini is all about the third house, communication, intellect, the mind, Third house is also technology. Pardon me. Excuse me. My throat's dry. Um, you know, technology. Make sure you have your technology going well. Check your computers, your connections. Um, I have mine. You might see me sometimes looking over here, but I'm not looking at anything. I have a 50-inch TV here, that one here, and then I have software over here that can hear me with a microphone. So, I'm just making sure that all my systems are working while I'm communicating with you. And I prefer it that way because I can see what other people see. So not only can I see myself talking to you through the, the camera, but I can also see what I look like on TV. I can also see how I'm coming out on the hearing and how the tape recording's going, and so I look at all these things, and I promise you, I'm not often, in space, but yeah, communication is key with Gemini in the third house. Again, Gemini represents air. Air. Gemini is the twins. You know, intellect, communication, uh, being emotionally intelligent, not just intellectually intelligent, but also having emotional intelligence. You know, Gemini people don't do well unless you have intellectual and emotional intelligence, and you can communicate well your thoughts. I taught the upper grades for a long, long time, and I used to teach writing, and I always told my students, if you can write it down on paper, you can read it well, you can speak it well, you can communicate it well, and you can give a speech well. Because if you can write it down expressively and thoroughly and complete sentences and paragraphs grammatically, spelling, usage, and capitalization, utilization, and all of that, punctuation again, and you can communicate that and then communicate it out to the world. You'll never have a problem communicating to anyone. That takes practice. Not everybody has that gift. Not everybody has the gift of writing a book. Not everybody has the gift of getting up there like J.D. Vance and communicating that way. That takes a lot of practice, although he has writers that write for him his MO on his paper and what his speech is supposed to entail. I'm sure he looks it over thoroughly before he goes and says his speech. Ergo, in order to have those gifts, you need to, like Gemini, you need to have the good communication, good expression, and a good way to have also intellectual and emotional maturity, intellectual, emotional intellect, emotional and mental maturity. Okay. Nobody wants to go up to someone and have a conversation with them. And even though they're book smart, when you talk to them about their emotions, they start going batshit crazy. Nobody wants to deal with that. Like, mm. So it is important. Communication is very important. Maturity in both areas are very important. And that also rules Mercury. The third house is Mercury. And Mercury is also going to be in the mix this week. Okay. Um, and so, and Cancer. We're going to have Cancer in the beginning of the week as well. We're going to have the moon in Cancer coming in, I believe, on Tuesday. And then after that, we're going to have on Monday, we're going to have Gemini come into the mix. And we're going to have the sun, the moon with Gemini. And we're going to have a lot of communication, some emotional communication. I know for a fact at the end of the week, we're going to have a big mix at the end of the week with Gemini. And there are going to be a lot of surprises where communicationally, I want to say someone, and it's not going to be so obvious where, friends going to come up to you and go, "Did you hear what you said? Da, 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 da." No, it's going to like be a surprise. Okay. It's going to be something that you're not used to because this is also going to entail Uranus at the end of the week, too. Yes. So all this communication, and we have Uranus coming in at the end of the week, and Uranus is all about surprises and upheavals and surprises. And surprises can be great. Surprises can be great unless somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, I just heard your ex-girlfriend got engaged to Michael," and you're like, "What?" I was just talking to her the other day. She said nothing to me about it, and then you're just like, surprises, communication, upheavals, shockers, but it's going to entail communication. And so I want everybody to think about with Uranus, it's change, and innovation, and revolution, and awakening. A lot of us, because we're going to have a lot of Pluto is going to be in the mix next at the end of the week as well, with Saturn and Neptune. For those of us who are water signs, we've got Cancer, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, Gemini, all going down this week. For those of us, especially water signs, I wouldn't be surprised if you aren't already. Some of us are very empathic already, or psychic, or registered with their state as a psychic medium. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have very strong empathics, pardon me, or you're very sensitive. That with this mix of the water signs and Gemini and Uranus and Pluto and the Moon and Venus all in this mix this week coming into play, that you might have some, ascending going on, where all of a sudden you might see something. Now, for water signs, it's different for everybody. Um, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Maybe you'll see something, that has to do with Cancer is all sensing. They walk in the room and they could feel the vibes of everybody. Um, Pisces is dreams, seeing things, dreaming about things, seeing apparitions, seeing clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizant, clairsentient. For me, my strengths are definitely more clairaudient and clairvoyant. I sense everything though. When I walk into a room, I could tell you when I walk into a room who's been saying about what, and for the most part, what they're blabbing about. But, and then you have Scorpio. Scorpio, you can look at somebody and you get to know them for a few minutes. It's like, all right, I already know your life story. Be gone with yourself. You're very, very, very intuitive. So this week we have a lot of that going on. We have Pluto in the mix. Pluto is the god of the underworld. And, Pluto is about letting go. So this communication, like I said, where you might hear somebody getting engaged, and you heard it from a friend, you're like, what? What? I just talked to them. Well, Pluto is coming into the mix at the end of the week. I want to say the 20th or the 22nd, and even earlier because it kind of starts going in earlier. And with the new moon today, at the end of today, because Taurus is going to go into full force at 4:01 Central Standard Time today. Okay. And then Gemini is going to come into the mix later on today. Okay. We're going now from this morning, which is the waning phase of the moon cycle, to where we sit, we study, we read, we learn. For those of us who are pagan or spiritualists, know this. And then we move from that phase to the waxing phase of the moon cycle, which is going forward. Manifestation. All of you should have been manifesting earlier this week. Today is the day to sit and meditate like I did this morning, and I put down some jazz music, some very relaxing, meditative jazz music for you to close your eyes and look into your third eye. It's your crown chakra. This is the I am. This is the I think. I am the truth. I am loved. Right up here above your belly button is I am empowered. Your lower stomach is, you know, I am innocent. And then your Kundalini is I am safe. You should be grounding your chakras and closing your eyes. Although your eyes are closed, if you can envision the third eye, and it takes a lot of work to get to that point, but I can do it in seconds because I've been working on it for years and years and years and years. You can see the lights, and you can see with silence what the universe wants you to see, or what you're thinking about, or what might come, what you bring about, what comes about. Relax yourself. Sit in silence. I think the best thing to do for everybody, just to even calm your lives down a bit with everything we have going on as charismatic people in the universe, in the world today, would be to even just take that half an hour and silence the mind, silence the body, calm the body, nerve system down, calm the heart down, your blood pressure down, because all day long we're all ramping up. So getting back to Pluto, Pluto is going to give you some surprises, some transformation. And with Pluto in the mix, I'm going to say this, that's why I explain the chakras and the grounding. For water signs that are intuitive, are empathic, or are working on building those strengths. When Pluto is in the play and the water signs are on the play, and we have the moon coming in and Venus coming in, which is the fifth house of relationships and romantic connections and finances as well, not just romantic, but the fifth house is also finances, not as much as the second house. The second house is solid finances and how you do your family, how you take care of how you take care of your family, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your home, your cars, blah blah blah. But everybody has Pluto in the mix, and this all has to do with transformation and the psyche. Engage brain before mouth, engage brain before talking. Okay, this is about, again, letting go. At the end of the week, they're supposed to be there. I'm saying they're supposed to be. I'm guaranteeing there's going to be some surprises here with some of you. Let me know in the chat. Press like, press subscribe. Okay. If all of you have any questions for me, please, I implore you to contact me at danuscelticworlds@gmail.com. And that is the quickest way to get in touch with me, or text me. You can also contact me through Facebook, Instagram, and Gmail, through Danu's Celtic World. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Danu's Celtic World. And I'm Kate. The pictures you see on my sites and in my email, that's Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I spent all morning talking to my followers and my subscribers and getting back to everybody and posting on YouTube today for everybody. Please feel free to contact me, book a reading. We can get an astrology chart for you. We can go through all the whole houses. We can go through the houses like I just have, and I can explain that just for you, for your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign. We can also go through your fifth house, your Venus, your seventh house of partnerships, your eighth house, which has to do with, you know, the intimacy, religion, partnerships, you know, loans, finances, all kinds of things that all of you would like to be able to see what's going on so that you can plan for future goals. I like astrology very much so to add to the mix because every sign is different. We all have different aspects within our houses and connections, and we have different, you know, degrees within those aspects, which translate into actually the things that we can actually plan for our lives. Because if these things are going on at this part of our life, and we can see that these are the things that represent that house, that aspect, that planet, and the characteristics, you know how to plan for those parts of your life that are in each of those houses moving forward that pertain to your personality, to your sun sign, to your rising sign, to your ascendant. Your rising sign is your ascendant. That's the first house. The second house is how you make money, how you handle money. Third house is communication. Fourth house, family. We can go on and on and on. Book time to have an astrology chart read with me. We can plan your future. I will do a reading, a full Celtic cross with you with clarifiers and an oracle card for you that will be all together, not just one thing. So, with that said, let's get on to the reading. Today, thank you. My throat is so dry. So, with that said, I'm going to pull my back box open here. Have it here. You can see I have all my cards here. I'm going to go with my crystal felt. Have stones on each of my cards. I'm going to go with Wizard's Tower. And I love this deck because it's so pretty. It has one of my favorite things. This is the Wizard's Tarot. I like it. It's really modern. It also has one of the favorite things that I like, and I know they don't exist now, or hopefully they, in mythology and folklore. But if I can have a dragon as a pet, that would be so awesome. So anyway, that's the Wizard's Tarot. And today we're going to talk about what do we want to see in charts for the collective. Guys, what do we want to see? The new moon in Taurus. What do I want to see for the new moon in Taurus? Okay, my third eye showed me a lot of fire signs. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. Oh, look at that. The Magician. And the Magician is a great card. Manifestation. As above, so below. He has his hand up with his wand and his other hand down. And in the traditional tarot, they have, sorry, yeah, no, the Hierophant and the Magician and the Rider Waite. The Hierophant is the fifth card in the tarot. The Magician is the first card actually in the tarot. The first card is actually the Fool, and that's zero. And the reason why the Fool is zero in the tarot is because that's the universal card that represents the universe of humankind, which also represents the Hangman going down in the major arcana. And then when we get to the World card, I'm sorry, the Wheel of Fortune and the World card, when you go around, you'll see all the elements around the card, and you'll see man up there. And that represents the Fool, from the Fool as a teenager starting life to the man in the Fortune and then the World card as an adult. Just a little tarot education. Okay, the Magician has all his tools. He has his wand, which is fire sign, his cups, water sign, pentacles, and sword. Earth, air, fire, water. He brings all his tools to manifest, bring out their hidden power. For those of you that have been manifesting and wishing and meditating and making wishes and writing down in your journal or taking notes and writing down, I want to see XYZ relative get this new job. Okay? Pentacles, water sign, cups, fire sign, wands, air sign minds, wands, passion, career, cups, emotion, pentacles, earth, material world, money, wealth. We're manifesting this. Many of you have been manifesting this. You've been manifesting while the moon has been waning and going through the waning phase. This will transpire late this afternoon after 4 o'clock. We will be going into the waxing phase of the new moon today in Taurus. Manifesting, showing your hidden power, bringing out your inner guidance. If you've been meditating and wishing and giving mantras, saying mantras, and guiding yourself and communicating mentally, emotionally with your body. I'd like to have better health. I'd like to have a solid career. I'd like to see myself push forward and having more abundance. This is the manifestation card for all of you to be doing that. I've seen this for a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people. And what's really funny is, when we're working with the manifestation card, people don't realize that when you're manifesting like this, you're working not only with manifesting what you want to bring about, but you're working with balance and the all four elements of powers of nature to create the power within your own world. You have the power to do that, to bring that about. But in order to do that, that's a practice that everyone needs to do. And the more you practice manifestation, just to let you know, you will get better at it. Mhm. You will get better at manifestation with the air sign of the mind, intelligence. Okay, pentacles, wealth, money, cups, better with handling your emotions. Wands, better with your fire, your passion, your career, your ambition. Manifesting, working with balance with the elements. bringing about positive change, positive things around you. That's what this manifestation card is, manifesting the beautiful things that you want to have in life, to have positive outcomes, positive things around you, everywhere in the natural world around you. Meeting challenges and seeking them out and creating abundance in your life using all the elements around you. And again, like I said, he is bringing as above, so below, meaning universal power, all the elements as above, so below, in this earth and beneath, in this world and in the other world. And when you get to the Hierophant card, he has a staff, and you see the staff, he's doing the same thing the magician is doing, as above, so below in the Hierophant card, but he has the staff there with the three levels on his staff that says, in this world, manifesting in this world, the middle world, the spirit world, and the other world beyond. The dimensions on the different the 11 dimensions that we have. We live on the 3D in the 3D world. We're manifesting strength at will. You're a lot of you are manifesting positive affirmations and working through getting all of those affirmations and insight into your life using your own personal powers by just relaxing and thinking upon all the positive things that you'd like to bring into your life. Physically working hard to manifest all the things, the emotions, the money, the positive outcomes, the positive emotions, the positive happiness into your life. This is great. This is in the new moon. These are the things that we want to bring in to the new moon, to bring into the waxing phase, to watch manifest. That's great. Or lose my voice. Our next card is the Six of Swords. Okay, the Six of Swords is beautiful. The Six of Swords has a lot to do with the mind. Again, the mind. Okay, Swords is all about the mind. And the Six of Swords has to do with moving forward positively, but slowly. Okay? The Six of Swords has to do with moving on, moving or traveling over air or over water. Swords is air, but in the traditional Rider-Waite card, he has the Six of Swords with him, but he's traveling over water in a boat. In this card, they're traveling over water. They're not traveling over water, they're traveling over water, and then they're traveling on land with the motorcycle and the sidecar with air. And air would have to do with those vehicles. You might be planning a trip. The Six of Swords is also traveling for a trip, moving forward with a good, that could be a good time for the movement, for change, for the experience right now. Because you've got all this positive manifestation that all of you in the collective that are doing, bring all those elements out there, as above, so below, within the universe, within the 3D dimension that we live on, bringing the powers of the 11 dimensions of the universe with you to bring those lucks. You're thinking about it, you're writing it down, you're closing your eyes. If you can see it in your head, if you can feel it in your heart, if you can feel it in your body, you can manifest it, bring about what you want. This is moving forward slowly with this manifestation. It's going to come about, moving slowly. This could also mean traveling to far distant lands, having a good experience traveling, forward movement, improvement of improvement from this the manifestation, improvement of current situations. Current situations could be your job, your new home, the end of a course, a class, the end of, yay, I'm done with this semester, right? It's the end of school for college, for elementary school, for high school, and I get a whoop, whoop. Yeah, for the end of the course, you know, traveling for pleasure, moving on a journey you want to go on and you're going to enjoy it because you've been wanting this journey and you've been manifesting this. You've been wanting to move forward. You've been wanting the positive outcomes. They're coming to you. Okay? The 6 of swords is bringing this to you slowly. It's slow movement. It shows movement with progress over time, progress with maturity, progress with emotional maturity. Communication, we talked about that. It signifies good movement, slow movement for change, experiences, traveling, finishing a course, finishing school. You know, it's like smooth driving ahead, smooth sailing ahead. Everything is easy breezy, nice going forward. But positive movement. It could be a new home. It could be just traveling for pleasure. Maybe you just finished with school or your job is over as a teacher and you just want to take the summer break and go to Italy. Go somewhere, maybe go see some lands in Ireland or the UK. Go to the beach. Take a break from some of the chaos personified in the world. And because you have made progress, you have manifested this. You have manifested positive outcomes for yourself by thinking, by feeling, by foreseeing it for yourself. You can make progress and improvement and smooth progress slowly going forward and all of the things that you've been wishing about so that you can bring about so that you can make a change in your life for better positive improvement. Love it. Love it. I love it. Okay. And we can't get any better than this. This is the wish card, the 9 of Pentacles. Money, wealth, business, your health, inheritance, $1 million. Somebody might come and knock on your door and say, hey, so and so passed away. They left you $1 million. The 9 of Pentacles. I cannot tell you any further. I'm trying to, it doesn't hit the lights so much, but I apologize ahead of time. That's why I'm putting it in front of me. But this is the 9 of Pentacles. This is so the money card. The 9 of Pentacles is so positive. So you wished for this card. You're wishing for this card. You're getting this. This is all about money. You have a beautiful garden in there. Do you see that? There's pentacles in there. Some of the flowers are representative of the pentacles. If you look at the flowers, and I know it's kind of hard to say, but over here, if you look at some of the pink flowers, they have 5 petals representing the 5 points of the pentacle. There are 9 of them. In her garden, representing wealth, in her garden that's continuously growing. You can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, you cannot ask for anything better than that. This is also a garden witch is represented in here. This is about success, confidence, manifestation, abundance, self-efficiency, being able to take care of yourself, Take care of everything in your life. Take care of your family. Um, Personal powers from personal strength, from motivating yourself to be positive, to go forward with your goals, your spirituality, and being enhanced and getting your hands into the soil and tending the earth by manifesting the work, the hard work, the abundant, bringing about the abundance, like the Taurus that we have here with the new moon, that likes to work hard with work ethic, foundation, grounding, bringing about abundance. The Nine of Pentacles is also about joy, paying attention to working hard. You know, this is a person that is successful, happy, surrounded by beautiful things in nature, like the bull and Taurus. Also, exactly like that. This symbolizes a person who can tap into their power by manifestation and make sure that they can enjoy the fruits of what they have earned, the fruits of their wealth by working hard. And this person, this earthbound, wonderful person, okay, pentacles, earth, material world, money, wealth, keeps a good home, represents a beautiful home, grows a great magical garden, is good with the land, good with getting her hands dirty, good with working, sharing her family, sharing with others, being called upon to connect to the earth and connecting with family, connecting with her home that she has behind her, guarding her home, studying, finishing school. This all about study. This studying hard. She's studying. She takes it with her. She's constantly studying. She's representing her home, her family. She represents financial worries over, done, no more. This is great. I'm going to leave this up here for some of you. If you want to research this, and when we're done with the reading, I will also, like I always do, leave the cards out for you so that you can see them yourself. This is great. You have the manifestation card, Magician, the Six of Pentacles, moving forward slowly, travel, finishing college, finishing courses, traveling abroad, traveling, moving forward with your job, moving forward with a new home, wealth, abundance. It says, this card says, financial worries are over, done. Something for the collectives, for some of you, things are going to come into your life. People are going to come into your life. You might get a new job. Something might come up. You'll get a raise. You get a bonus. You get more money. And feeling like you're penny pitching all the freaking time, over, over. Feeling like you can't go and travel when your friends go out of town with them, over. Feeling like you can't buy that engagement ring, or can't save up to get a house, or you can't save enough money to even pay for health insurance, over. Over. Abundance. This card of the Nine of Pentacles represents that financial worries are over. And this is a creative focus, confidence, and personal growth from working hard from within. Heart, mind, from within. Putting in, okay, like the Seven of Pentacles. You reap what you sow. That's the Seven of Pentacles. This girl, this male or female, Nine of Pentacles, they put in that Seven of Pentacles. They reaped what they sow. Now they're going to have abundance. Financial worries are over. Love it. I love it. Okay. I'm not even gonna do clarifier. I don't want to mess with this. I feel like somebody's either winning the lottery or somebody's gonna get an inheritance or somebody's gonna somebody if you do, please contact me and email me Dana's Celtic Worlds at gmail.com. Press the subscribe button, press the like button, send me a text message, put down in the chat if you think that that's going to happen to you, if you get a raise, if you get a promotion, if you're traveling abroad and they give you a fantastic architecture job and they want to pay you like a $30,000 bonus to finish it at a certain time, let me know because these cards, sorry, these cards all say success. They're all success. This is tremendous, tremendous, and I mean tremendous success. The Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Magician manifesting all over the place. My dear collective, if you're manifesting, you are definitely getting to see the fruits of your labor.